Hi, my name is Kenneth. I'm a hardcore meat eater. I love eggs, dairy, cheese, everything that is non-vegan. So what I did this week was I had a vegan challenge. It was very hard for me because as I mentioned, I love eggs, I love dairy, and apparently being vegan you can't have any of those. And throughout the week I ate bihun, like vegetarian bihun. So because that was the easiest thing I can find at the cheapest one, I didn't really know what I was doing. So we decided to ask some people who are experienced in the vegan culture.
My name is Michael Broadhead. Originally from Canada, moved to Singapore about 2.5 years ago. What I do in my spare time outside of teaching is a lot related to sustainability and veganism. So one thing I do is the Earth Film Festival and the Earth Fest, which is a large sustainability festival. I also am a member of the EXCO of Vegetarian Society of Singapore, as well as running this outreach group called Animal Allies.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you talk about vegan lifestyle?
The first thing is it comes down to harm and trying to reduce the amount of harm that you cause in the world, trying to help wherever you can.
My name is Emily Tan. I am an ultra runner. I'm also a raw food chef and I'm a passionate vegan.
My name is Luke. I'm an author and a vegan strength athlete. And I'm passionate about spreading the plant-based message through vegan athleticism.
I eat burgers, I go to vegan burger, eat ice cream, I eat cakes, I eat all that normal stuff. I eat a broad variety.
The way I would describe our vegan lifestyle, we do not consume any animal products, so that includes meat, dairy, poultry, fish, eggs, as well as what we wear. So we don't wear leather, and we don't have leather bags, we don't have leather shoes, we don't wear fur, silk, and we don't consume honey as well.
And being at peace with the environment and the animals that are around.
When I was younger, I used not to like meat very much, but meeting him, being with a bodybuilder, I increased my input of meat. I started eating more because I was cooking for him, so I was eating more meat. And at some point, like every single meal was a stress for me. I was getting bloated, I was getting gas, I was getting pain, and I was taking all those supplements because I felt, oh, maybe my gastric acid are not strong enough. Eventually, I just got fed up and I saw something about a vegan lifestyle and started looking into it. And after adopting it, after I would say a couple of days, I think I could see major improvements. So I was sold right away.
When Emily turned vegan, I was actually quite interested in this whole perspective and lifestyle. When I literally turned vegan overnight when I watched this documentary called Earthlings, and I read the book by Robert Cheek, Vegan Bodybuilding and Fitness, and he made me believe that it was not only possible to build muscle on a plant-based diet, but it was optimal.
My personal reason did start with environmentalism. I was about 6 years ago, I was traveling in India, and during that time I ended up volunteering at a reforestry camp. Before in my life, nobody had ever connected the food on my plate to a sustainability issue. And so as soon as I had heard that, I started doing more research and I discovered the connections to climate change and pollution, etc. And I started to have this feeling like, can I really actually be an environmentalist and yet eat meat which is causing such environmental damage? That same week we had a documentary screening about the slaughter of dolphins in Japan. So we were watching this film and I was really affected, like when they were killing these dolphins, like it was really graphic and visceral, and I was like, it really, moved me. And how many people felt sorry for those dolphins and felt compassion for what was happening and wouldn't want that to happen? And then they extended that and it's like, well, why do we not feel that same compassion to a cow? What's the difference between a dolphin and a cow? And at that moment I started to realize, actually I do care about the cow. And I've just been in this culture where nobody's asked me to think about the cow. I've been in a culture that helps me ignore the cow, to pretend it doesn't happen. And so at that point I decided, okay, you know what, if I love animals, I don't eat them. If I care about the environment, I don't eat meat. In terms of the environment, if you want to focus first on carbon footprint, which is very important for climate change, the carbon footprint of a vegan is significantly lower than a meat eater. And that's due to many issues, not only in the transportation networks and the production networks are more intense for meat, but it's also in terms of the gases being produced. We focus on carbon dioxide, but there's also two other greenhouse gases that have a lot of global warming potential, and that's methane and nitrous oxides. And those are produced primarily through animal agriculture, especially related to cattle. So when you're vegan, you're not putting those extra gases into the air in addition to the carbon. It's time to tear this down and be like, well, what is the truth? And so truth is, plant-based diet is extremely healthy. So in the end, for the environment, for my health, for the animals, I was sort of locked in, and at that phase I was like, there's no going back.
I remember as a meat eater, when I was younger, I tried to start running and I was trying to train for a fast 10K, and within a few weeks only I got a stress fracture and had to stop. That was by drinking a lot of milk, which is calcium, and my bones were brittle. Now I train sometimes up to 150K a week, and knock on wood, my bones are great.
I want to prove to the world that I can be healthy and fit and strong and actually win medals by being vegan. In 2015, June last year,
Yes.
last year competed with Team Plant Build in the US as a physique athlete, well, in the bodybuilding category, and I came first place for my category. And what I realized in 2010 when I competed as a non-vegan versus 2013 and 2015 was it's a lot easier for me to stay leaner, and I feel a lot healthier as well, and I don't actually require as much supplements. In fact, my supplement stash is just shrink down to B12 and maybe half a scoop of protein.
Since going vegan and through the years, I probably have lost about 5 kilos. I got to my ideal weight. My recovery is extremely good. I can train hard one day and the day after I feel great.
In terms of health, it's been the best thing I've ever done for sure, because since then I have become a lot healthier. When I was vegan, I was actually more conscious of what I was eating all the time. I was actually thinking about what I was eating, and it was making me happy thinking that nothing was being harmed to make that food. And when I was thinking that multiple times a day, every time I ate, I actually became a happier person, because it's almost like your food becomes a way to help others. Before, when I was eating meat, it was much different. It's like, you don't want to talk about how your food was made. You want to ignore that. You don't want to talk about how the animal was killed, or that the animal had a baby, or any. You don't talk about those things because it would make you feel uncomfortable.
Okay, so as you mentioned just now, there's this. You tried to find a human killing, right? So you can continue eating meat.
Yeah.
Did anything come out like human killing? Is that something?
Yeah, well, I sort of realized that there's no such thing. I mean, like, these animals have personalities, they have lives, they don't want to die. There is no right way to kill something that does not want to die. So then it becomes this moral choice. It's like, do I cause this animal to die just for my pleasure? Because it's not required. And then when I was like, of course not. This animal wants to live, they should live. I should cause less harm in this world.
We can function, we can thrive on a vegan diet, so why kill? The reason we have evolved to eat meat is because at some point that was our only option. We were attracted to the highest, the most concentrated source of calories. We don't have to do that anymore. We can grow potatoes, we can grow rice. There's so much options for us. Why kill animals to fill that need of food? We're growing food to feed the animals that we're killing to eat. To me, it just
Counterproductive.
it doesn't make sense.
From an ethical standpoint, I mean, I look at my dog, my cat, or any, for example, a rabbit or a hamster versus a cow, chicken, pig. How are they any different? I think we've been conditioned to think that some are food and some are pets. We've been to an animal sanctuary at this Mission Farm Sanctuary, and it's just amazing to see these animals.
Something that really stayed with me is that the farmed animals that we met, so there was beautiful goats and sheep especially.
Chickens and turkeys.
Turkeys are awesome. They're like a cat, a cat comes to you and wants to pet, and they purr.
They purr. So turkeys, actually, we were petting one turkey and he was just
It's amazing. So that's something that we eat every Christmas and Thanksgiving, and is actually exactly acting like a cat. And then same thing with the sheep and the goats. They all have their little personalities. Some are a little more scared, and some are so sociable. They come to you. They just want to play. And to see this, some emotions that we usually associate with our pet animals, to see that with farmed animals, it's just a big revelation.
The dominant culture is to exploit animals, to objectify them, to harm them. There's this, underlying concept called carnism. So for us, it's very difficult to have people see objectively what's happening to the animals, because they'll actually recognize when they see it. They don't like what's happening. They don't kill animals themselves. But then there's this gap between that and then what they do in their life, which is they still buy the products and those types of things. But there's this psychological defense mechanism that people defend their behavior, even though it doesn't align with their morality. When you ask them if they want to harm animals, they'll say no, yet their behavior, they will still choose to do things that harm animals. So for us, it's about trying to find the ways to break down that psychological barrier and help people become aware and in tune with their natural compassion. There's the people who recognize this injustice. They are at the beginning are the minority. And so they have to organize, they have to come together, they have to find community, and they have to work together to raise awareness about the injustice to the general population that has been blinded to it. So in the case of what we're doing with vegans, vegans are about animal rights. Is that these animals are their own being. They don't have the right to be owned. They don't have the right to be sold. They don't have the right to be killed, no more than a human has a right to be owned or killed, etc.
But on the flip side, I do know where I was before as a meat-eating bodybuilder, and that's why, for me and Emily, it's important for us to be non-judgmental and compassionate to everyone, because I've been there before, being a meat eater and also knowing that a pig is pork, a cow is beef, chicken is a chicken breast. There's no connection there. I need to understand that I was there before, and I think it's important for everyone to stand together to spread and inspire a message that's positive.
So after talking to Michael, I've realized why people actually want to go vegan. It's because of sustainability issues and how it's very inhumane to kill all those animals, especially after watching the slaughterhouse video in 360. It actually kind of moved me. I had goosebumps all over after watching that. It kind of made me think of the food that was on my plate. Personally, I think after this whole experience, the things I would change to my diet is just reducing the meat intake and having more veggies, because personally I feel that it's also good for myself as a health issue, and Michael said it helps to lose weight, and I am very attracted to that benefit. Yeah. Now that after I talk to these people, I realized that there are actually a lot of different replacements that I could have, not only just bee hoon. Like I actually had a tofu burger that day. It was really, really good. I actually liked it, and even though I maybe not be vegan, I will still go back and have it. So it's something I don't mind trying again.
We've destroyed the planet so badly at this point that we reached a point of no return. And I do believe it is the only solution for us to keep on surviving as a species, is to become vegan. There's no more other ways. It is the only way. If we want to keep on feeding our fellow humans, if we want the earth to stay what it is and to thrive and to nourish us, we have to stop eating animal products. To me, that's the most important response.